Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about White Line Fever by K.C. Jones. This is from Tor Nightfire. I'm just going to read the back cover copy because it's easy for me. And this is what it says. They'll break more than speed limits on this girl's trip from hell. At a passing glance, County Road 951 is an entirely unremarkable stretch of blacktop, a two-lane scar across the Cascade foothills of central Oregon. But the road is known by another name, coined by locals who had to clean up after all those scenic detours went horribly wrong. The Devil's Driveway. Sorry about that little hitch in the reading. When Livia and her longtime friends take the driveway as a shortcut to a much-needed weekend getaway, what begins as a morning joyride quickly becomes anything but. Soon, they're driving for their lives, pursued by a horror beyond anything they've ever imagined. The Devil's Driveway might only be 15 miles long, but with danger at every turn, it will take the four women to the very limits of their friendship and their sanity. And there's no telling what else lies in wait just beyond the bend. So there you have it. There's your nutshell. And for the too long didn't watch folks, I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really, really liked it. K.C. Jones, just making sure, has another book from Tor Nightfire, The Black Tide. I have not read that yet. But this one of my latest Tor Nightfire purchases, and it was just calling to me, so I thought I'd give it a try, and I enjoyed it very much. K.C. Jones, at least in this book, has a very clean writing style, very straightforward, and the book starts with a cold open. There's a young man named Drew, and he is with a couple of his friends, Julian and Breeze, I believe, and Julian and Breeze have a paranormal type YouTube channel, and they've heard about the Devil's Driveway. Drew has a motorcycle, and they hook up a camera, and they want him to. There's the Devil's Driveway. It's been closed because of all these accidents and things, and there's a gate across the roadway, but he can take his motorcycle and go around it. And so they hook him up with cameras and stuff, and they just want him to get a bunch of footage driving the length and back. And of course, something happens. Then we meet Livia, and some things happen in her life so that she and her 3 friends decide to go to this getaway weekend. They're going to a spa. They get on the road. Some things happen on the road that cause them to take this shortcut. And the gate is open at the point where they get on the Devil's Driveway. And that's when the crazy stuff starts happening. And all of this is intercut with flashbacks to when Livia was a kid, and she and her 3 friends, the same 3 friends she's with now, present day, called themselves the Scoundrels. And we get their backstory and how it may connect to what's going on in the present. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, as always. But, and let me know if you consider this a little too spoilery, I was reminded of a movie that I've never actually seen, but I have seen plenty of scenes from it, and I have heard plenty of reviews, seen people talking about it, discussing it. And so, the movie that I was reminded of while reading this book is As Above, So Below. So if you've seen that movie, from my understanding of what that movie is, it might give you an idea of some of the things that are going on in this book. And that's all I'm going to say about that. There's some very, very spooky stuff. This isn't a spoiler. There's supernatural shenanigans going on, and some of it is very, very spooky. And the flashback stuff, the non-supernatural stuff, the stuff going on when they were kids, is as horrifying, if not more so, because it's real-world stuff, as horrifying, if not more so, than the Devil's Driveway stuff. Now, I did feel, right from the beginning, or as I was reading the beginning, what I call the cold open, it did feel a little bit like information dump to me regarding the Devil's Driveway and its history and all these things that had happened there. And I was thinking, well, I mean, that might be necessary. How else are you going to convey this information to the reader? But then, later in the book, something happens, and I essentially went, oh, this is exactly kind of the perfect way to have conveyed this information to a reader in a way that felt to me to be more natural. Some people might read that cold open and think it works perfectly fine. But as I said, just as I was reading it, I thought, oh, this is kind of information dump, but I don't know if it could have been done any better. And then much later in the book, it's like, oh, I think it could have been done better, which is possibly the only reason this doesn't get 5 stars, because I really, really enjoyed it. There is another reason that's a very personal reason that keeps it from being 5 stars. Just, I loved it, but I can't tell you what that reason is, because that would absolutely be a spoiler. But very well written. I really enjoy the characters. I feel they are flawed. They are absolutely flawed. There are things about Livia that I disagree with, but that in no way makes her a bad person or at all a bad character. I think giving your characters flaws makes them, if it's done right, makes them better characters. Her friends, who are Becca, Morgan, I want to say Ash. I'm going to take a quick look. Yes, Ash. Ash and Becca are a married couple. Morgan is Ash's sister. And we get lots of backstory for these three, sort of how they grew up, how their relationships with each other are, all 4 of them. And I think it's very well done. I found it to be quite realistic. They're best friends. They're going on this getaway weekend to a spa, and yet there's still bits of bickering, things that one does that irritates the others, and just felt like real people, like real friends, and makes me look forward to getting to The Black Tide. I've had it, I think, since it came out, since I try to buy the Tor Nightfire books as they come out. I think I've had it that long and just haven't gotten to it. Don't know why this one was calling to me, but I'm glad that it was. Again, I don't want to say too much and give anything away, but I absolutely recommend it. White Line Fever, K.C. Jones, Tor Nightfire, a really great supernatural thriller with real world horror elements to it, heartbreaking elements, and just good stuff. I don't know how to end what I'm talking about. So there you go. That's it. A very quick, relatively speaking, review. Trying to think of recommendations. I never think ahead, unfortunately. Trying to think of like road trip type horror. I mean, I could easily recommend The Hitcher, the original. It's not a bunch of people on a road trip. It's one dude driving cross country. C. Thomas Howell, Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Love that movie. But unfortunately, off the top of my head, can't think of any books. Another movie would be Joyride. I enjoy the first Joyride with is it Paul Walker Zahn. What's his name? Zahn. Can't think of his first. Steve Zahn and Lily Sobieski, I believe. That's a fun one. And I think I vaguely remember seeing Joyride 2 and thinking that wasn't too bad, but I don't remember it well enough to definitively say that. But I very much enjoy Joyride. That's a road trip movie. Can't think of any road trip books off the top of my head. But if you can think of any, let me know in the comments below. There's your question. What are the best road trip, girls trip, boys trip, horror books that you would recommend? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.